Squeeze your hand into a fist right now. Hold it. That simple act, the force your hand just generated, is one of the most consistently validated predictors of long-term health that researchers have found in adults over 50. Not cholesterol, not BMI, grip strength. A landmark study published in The Lancet followed nearly 140,000 people across 17 countries. Every 5 kilogram drop in grip strength was associated with a 16% higher risk of dying from any cause and a 17% higher risk of dying from cardiovascular disease. Grip strength outperformed systolic blood pressure as a mortality predictor in that study. That is not a minor finding. That is a signal worth paying attention to. Today we are going to explain what grip strength is actually measuring, why it matters so much, and most importantly, what you can do about it starting this week with no equipment and no gym membership required. Grip strength is not just about your hands. When researchers measure it, they are getting a window into the overall integrity of your neuromuscular system, the coordination between your nerves, muscles, and connective tissue across your whole body. It correlates with lean muscle mass, bone density, and balance. That is why major medical bodies now take it seriously as a clinical marker. The European Working Group on Sarcopenia in Older People, EWGSOP2, formally elevated low muscle strength, most commonly measured by grip strength, though chair stand tests are also accepted, to the forefront as the primary indicator of probable sarcopenia. Hospitals use it in preoperative risk assessments. The concern behind all of this is sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle mass and function that begins its underlying process in most people somewhere between their 30s and 40s, with more noticeable decline, often accelerating after 60. Grip strength is one of the clearest early signals that this process is underway. Here's the practical concern. Muscle loss does not just affect how strong you feel. It affects whether you can get off the floor after a fall, whether you can carry your own groceries, and whether a brief hospital stay leaves you needing help with tasks you used to do automatically. Research from the Health, Aging, and Body Composition Study, a long-term NIA-funded study of adults aged 70 to 79, found that grip strength independently predicted disability following hospitalization, even when accounting for other factors. A week in a hospital bed accelerates muscle loss significantly. Going in with a stronger baseline makes a real difference to how well you come out. Before we get to the practical side, there are two things worth addressing directly. The first is this: grip training will make my arthritis worse. The evidence says otherwise. Arthritis Foundation guidelines and multiple clinical trials in people with hand osteoarthritis consistently show that low to moderate resistance exercise reduces joint pain and improves function, provided you start gently, avoid training through a flare, and progress gradually. A physical therapist can tailor the approach to your specific situation. The second is more fundamental. I am in my 70s or 80s. It is too late for my muscles to respond. This is simply not supported by the research. A study by Fiatarone and colleagues published in JAMA in 1990 put frail nursing home residents, average age 90, through 8 weeks of resistance training. They got meaningfully stronger. Some improved their walking speed. Muscle tissue does not stop responding to training simply because of age. You are not too late. The good news is that effective grip training requires almost nothing in terms of equipment or time. If you are just beginning, start with hand squeeze holds. Take a rolled towel, a stress ball, or a ball of therapy putty, available at most pharmacies for just a few dollars. Squeeze firmly for 5 seconds, release for 5 seconds. Do 10 to 15 repetitions per hand. You can do this seated while watching television. That is a full session. As you build confidence, consider a farmer carry. Pick up 2 moderately heavy grocery bags or dumbbells and walk 20 to 30 meters, the length of a hallway or a few times up your driveway. The weight should feel genuinely challenging by the end of the walk. This trains grip the way real life demands it, sustained under load while your whole body is moving. Beyond formal exercises, look at your daily life differently. Opening jars without a grip aid, wringing out a wet towel, kneading dough, raking leaves, digging in a garden, all of these load the forearm meaningfully. Done intentionally, they count as training stimulus. Aim for grip work at least 2 days a week, embedded in whatever exercise you are already doing or added as a short standalone practice. Functional benefits, easier jar opening, more confidence on stairs and uneven ground, are often noticeable within 4 to 6 weeks of consistent effort. A few things to be aware of before you begin. If you have had a recent fracture or surgery to the hand, wrist, or forearm, get clearance from your doctor or physical therapist first. The same applies if you have uncontrolled high blood pressure, defined as resting readings consistently above 180/110, or active inflammatory arthritis flares. During any grip exercise, the signal to stop is joint pain. Mild muscle fatigue is normal and expected. Sharp, hot, or swollen joint pain is not. Stop if you feel it. Seek care promptly if during exercise you experience chest tightness, unusual shortness of breath, dizziness, or numbness radiating up your arm. And as always, the information here is educational. It is not a substitute for advice from your own physician or physical therapist, particularly if you have existing health conditions. One more practical note before we close: a hand dynamometer, the device clinicians use to measure grip strength, costs around $15 to $30 online and gives you an objective baseline you can track over time. You do not need one, but if you enjoy having a number to work toward, it is a worthwhile tool. Squeeze 3 times with each hand, rest 30 seconds between attempts, and record your best number. For context, clinical thresholds for low grip strength in older adults are generally below 27 kilograms for men and below 16 kilograms for women, though these are population benchmarks, not personal targets. What matters most is your own trend over time. Are you holding steady or improving? Grip strength is one small piece of a larger picture. Every week on this channel, we look at the research on healthy aging, clearly, honestly, and with practical steps you can actually take. If this video was useful to you, subscribe so you do not miss what we cover next. And if someone in your life is thinking about strength and aging, share this with them. Strong hands are worth building at any age.